Yeah, but George, Bitcoin has nothing to do with macro. Why don't you ask Nick what is the fair value of Bitcoin? I would love to.
Yeah. Okay, so Stephan, why don't you ask him?
Nick,
how about this? Hey Nick,
Nick,
two-thirds of Bitcoin's gone. So what's the fair value for the remaining third? How's that?
Yeah, Nick, I'm following you for some time, and I like your tweets, and thank you for that. And I'm a quite negative person on Bitcoin and crypto for the last 12 months, and I am short Bitcoin, and I think it will go to 10,000 because that's the minus 82% wave. It's going like the 2 times before, and it will go to 10,000. This is what we're gonna see this summer. It will be the end of diamonds. It will be the end of hodl for life. It will be the end of people who invest in this bullshit to get 10 to 20% interest rates where the central banks give you 0%. So Nick, please tell me, why is Bitcoin worth more than 10,000?
Yeah,
the audience is yours.
Thank you, Stephan. Fair question. I think it could certainly go down to $10,000, and I would be buying it there, of course. I think it's just a question of how much of a share of the world's allocation will be devoted to a hard money that solves a real problem. And gold obviously fluctuates between various fractions of the world's GDP over time. But I think
no. Please tell me, why is Bitcoin going above 10,000? Not about gold. Just why is Bitcoin valued above 10,000?
Again, I'm not claiming to value Bitcoin. I don't have a fundamental model to value it. I think it's not going to.
Okay, then please tell us: is it a cash flow? Is it a dollar valued model? What is the valuation model on Bitcoin?
Stephan, it's about just assessing flows, right? And in this case, I don't think we're going to 10,000 because you have a more institutional holder base. I think we all can agree on that. And they practice rebalancing. And so you're not going to get as savage a drawdown as previous times because, when Bitcoin sells off more so than other assets where they have a target allocation, they rebalance back into it.
Hey, Nick.
So I thought. Yeah.
So I don't know who shouted earlier. I know it wasn't you, Nick, that shouted that Bitcoin is not influenced by macro.
No,
Kantro. Nick said he's macro unaware. Yeah, but somebody shouted. It wasn't Nick, but somebody shouted, and you told him to stop.
I think it was Stephan. Stephan, wasn't that you?
No, I said that Bitcoin goes back to 10,000. Where's the curve for
you said macro doesn't influence Bitcoin. Someone.
Yes, I believe in that.
So you said that stuff. So
no, but can we please let Nick answer my question? I would be favor that. What is the valuation for Bitcoin? And I don't want to talk about the 1,000 other cryptocurrencies. And I can tell all the people who are in this chat, I crossed many people in the last 12 months who were trading stocks, and they were not willing to take a long position in stocks overnight. In stocks, you can discount stocks earnings. And they were not willing to take an overnight position in stocks, but told me to belong Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all the other crap. And they told me that equity is the lower value of Bitcoin and all the other crypto. And that makes me so vulnerable to all this crypto bullshit, where on the other side, even my former prof at my university in Frankfurt, the Frankfurt School, Professor Sandner, maybe have a look at him, they were all advocating you can even get staking for your crypto holdings 10 to 20%. So they were staking as a university prof. And again, as a university prof. And when I was at that university, we were trading against the desks at Goldman, at SocGen on the options market because we found out that the options models were wrong. And now the last 12 months there were people.
Stephan, please stay on point.
Yeah, and my only point is that these crypto guys, they were staking crypto for 10 to 20% and were thinking that they are on the right path. And it was just the biggest rubbish since Wirecard.
So Stephan, let me make a point. So Nick, my problem with you really is you're one of the leading spokesmen around Bitcoin. You have a public responsibility, especially since you come from a serious background, of giving a well-balanced, non-hyperbolic, non-sensationalist point of view, pointing out both the risks and rewards. You have assiduously avoided talking about any of the risks. You have, I guess, committed a sin of, you're a public person. You know people cling on to your every word. You've got a big following. And by not calling out the bad actors in this space and by not highlighting the risks, you are pouring gasoline on the fire.
And George, Nic, hang on for a second, please. Yeah. So George, can we all assume here you have 1,500 people in this room that you would consider yourself an influencer? Yes or no?
You talking to me?
Nick, hang on, George, please.
Yeah.
So are you an influencer? Okay, so you're an influencer now. Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, you got a blue check mark, so all right. There's a little. So now watch. Here it goes like this: conflict of interest. Okay. Right. In the case of Cathie Wood, she's on TV promoting Tesla to 5,000 a share while she's selling it in the back door. Have you ever disclosed to any of your followers when you've sold Bitcoin?
I have never ever.
No, three aces, stop.
Right.
Three aces,
not once in my life.
Three aces, stop. Three aces, stop.
I want to talk about the conflict stuff because you go to my website, you can see exactly what I own.
No, Nick, no, Nick. You want to speak to a straw man argument that suits your purposes because you can't answer my arguments, okay? The first part of Three Aces question was correct. The second part went off the wheels. I think we would all agree. I think you would probably agree. I think maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. Most of the people in this room would say that, and most serious investors I know would say that Cathie Wood is irresponsible. She's entitled to her opinion, but she's irresponsible with her proclamations. And that's not just about target prices. It's about the future, innovation, this, that, and everybody else, okay? She's irresponsible, all right? Okay? I would in similar fashion say that you have been irresponsible with your public proclamations to the point where it makes you look not in the best light. And eventually, when this whole thing comes crashing down, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame with Kevin Landis and Alberto Villar and Ryan Jacob. You have been irresponsible. You have not lived up to your responsibility as a public person. That is what I am accusing you of. And you should know better as an ex-Fidelity guy.
Can I answer that? So, to me, Bitcoin's not just an asset class. It's not just an investment. It is a genuine movement that I believe in. And if it fails, so be it. Like, I'll die on that cross, right? If a digital sound money, a true digital cash doesn't work, then we as a society, we failed. And I'll go down with the ship, 100%. I'll support whatever the relaunch next version is once Bitcoin fails, if that is the case. But, I've never sold a unit of Bitcoin. I would never trade against my followers. There's no reason to do that. I'm completely aligned here. I invest in the space. I put my capital to work. I support it. And I'll ride the ups and downs. I'll deal with the volatility just like anybody else. I don't put buy targets out there. I'm not like practicing any of these trading against your followers thing a lot of people do on crypto Twitter. And I will add that I've been very critical of the industry. Just look at anything I've written. Go to my website, read my articles. They're on CoinDesk. They're on Medium. There's plenty of stuff that's super, super critical of the industry. So I'm definitely not putting a blind eye.
Again, you should be a lawyer in another career. So, for instance, things like, this is class. You're actually. I'm really glad you're in here because you're digging your hole deeper and deeper and deeper. I give you salute for having the courage to come in here. Okay, I will assault you with facts. I will beat you with facts. All right. The idea, the whole Tether issue, which is the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Okay. At that Blockworks conference. No, hold on.
George,
let me finish. Let me finish.
That's the thing,
No,
though.
let me finish. No. You and everybody else in the crypto space do not want to talk about Tether. You know what? I can actually be convinced to maybe buy some Bitcoin if you could explain to me why I shouldn't be worried about Tether, but you won't answer it.
I'd love to. So I think it's your right to be concerned about it. And I think they're very opaque and untransparent. But I fundamentally disagree with you about Tether. I don't think Tether is influencing Bitcoin's valuation. I don't think it's the reason Bitcoin is worth so much. I don't presume to believe that that's your view, but I'm guessing it is. I don't actually think Tether is a systemic or critical risk to Bitcoin. I don't think it's responsible for the rallies, right? And I have written and spoken about Tether before. And been critical of them, but I think all things considered, yeah.
So sorry, Nick. George, can we have Mt. Gox ask Nick a question about that very topic?
For sure. So, Mt. Gox, the floor is yours. Mt. Gox, your question.